Is Bam Adebayo recruiting Donovan Mitchell to the Miami Heat? Welcome in today's Heat Report by Chat Sports. I am Nick Roloff. The two are close friends, and Bam took to social media with a not-so-cryptic tweet over the weekend that set Heat fans ablaze. But before we dive into everything surrounding the Miami Heat, make sure you are subscribed to the channel because we have daily coverage on the latest news, rumors. We'll be live for the NBA draft. We'll be live during free agency at some point. So make sure you hit that sub button and get covered on the latest surrounding your Miami Heat. All right, let's go into what Bam had to put on social media, and it started with this, because he was talking about some PS4, PS5 games, and then this man right here, Santi Ortiz, responded under Bam's post and said, "Bring Mitch to Miami, and I'll give you my PS5." And then Bam quote tweeted that with a GIF or GIF, whatever you want to call it. I can't show it in real motion, but you get the point of Will Ferrell kind of scratching his chin, looking at the camera like, should I do this? And, well, the truth is, like, Bam is probably just having fun with himself, probably having fun with this fan, but the realistic truth is he should put pressure on Donovan Mitchell and the front office to potentially get this in motion. Listen, Bam and D-Mitch are really close friends. They've been good friends for a long time. There's always been that trio between Bam, Donovan Mitchell, and Jason Tatum that are really close, and they're always talking. Like, people forget, even though there's a rivalry between the Celtics and Heat, that Bam and Jason Tatum are so close that Bam is the godfather to Deuce Tatum. Yeah, so Bam's got some connections in the league, with one of them being Donovan Mitchell. So if he gets in his ear, says, "Hey man, listen, if you don't want to sign a long-term extension, like, somehow work your way to Miami. I'll talk to my guys in front office like Pat Riley, Andy Ellisberg, and we'll try to get you here," and kind of set this in motion, I think Bam could legitimately facilitate a potential deal. And the rumors are not going away for Donovan Mitchell when it comes to not signing a long-term extension and potentially being traded. Another report/rumor came out this weekend from Terry Puto of Cleveland.com. He reported that he's been told the Cavs either would sign him, Donovan Mitchell, to an extension this summer or trade him. They have zero intention of opening the 24-25 season with Mitchell heading into his free agent year. And I've been trying to tell that to you guys, and I think you have gotten the point as well. It's like, the Cavs are not a dumb organization. They want Donovan Mitchell long term, but if it's clear that he is not going to stay there and sign that 4-year, $208 million extension he's available to sign, then they are going to deal him, because they know if they're not signing him this summer, he's leaving in free agency after this upcoming year, so you might as well just get a fresh start and get a head start on the rebuild or retool now and not lose one of the best shooting guards in the NBA for absolutely nothing. More on the topic here, but I want to know what you think. Predict it for me down in the comment section. Will Donovan Mitchell be traded, or will he sign an extension in this offseason? Type S if you think he's signing that long-term deal. Type T if you think he's getting traded. I do want to make sure you all know this. The date to watch for Donovan Mitchell is July 6th. That is when he is eligible to sign his long-term 4-year extension. So what does that mean exactly? Well, to me, I'm giving it about a 9 to 10 day grace period, because I don't know if it's going to happen right away. Obviously, Mitchell is going to be thinking about what he should do up until that July 6th date, and the decisions by the Cavs front office in terms of who they hire as head coach, what they do in the draft, is going to come into play. But if Donovan Mitchell does not sign an extension by July 15th, that is that 9 to 10 day grace period I am giving him, I think that is when the real trade rumors will start. And if he has not given them the, at least, intention that he is like 60-40 in terms of signing an extension, I think that's when they're going to be like, all right, we're not going to wait any longer. We need to get this off-season in hyperdrive, if I will, and start rebuilding this roster post-Donovan Mitchell. So I think that 8 to 9 day period after the July 6th date of him being able to sign that extension is when you will see a lot of these trade rumors start flying in, and maybe that is the time where Donovan Mitchell actually does get traded. And coming up here in just a second, I want to talk about who the Heat's competition for Donovan Mitchell could be. We've already mentioned a couple teams, but I want to take a closer look at their trade packages as well as Miami's trade package to see what an Donovan Mitchell trade could ultimately be. But before we do that, we are sponsored by Prize Picks, the #1 daily fantasy sports app and platform in North America, because it is easy, it is fun, and they have daily specials for you. All you do is pick more than or less than on 2 or more player stat projections, and you could win up to 100 times your money during the postseason. We might only have one basketball game left in the next week. Yes, you heard that correctly. If the Mavericks win today, we don't have a game in the NBA until June 6th. So I'm taking advantage, and you should too, with tonight's game. Less than 11 rebounds on Rudy Gobert, more than 9 assists on Luka Doncic, and more than on Kyrie Irving, 1.5 3-pointers. This is a 3-player entry to win 3.4 times my money. It's usually 5 times, but I went with the Goblin because it lowers the stat total, but also lowers the payout, low risk, low reward. You could go with the Demon and go high stat projection, high reward. That's what makes playing Prize Picks so much fun. Different ways to do it on a daily basis. So get started today and get a first deposit match up to $100 with prizepicks.com/CLNS, or download the app and input code CLNS. Shout out to Prize Picks for sponsoring today's video. Pick more, pick less. That's simple. All right, let's look at the interested teams now surrounding Donovan Mitchell, or at least what's been rumored and reported already. Miami is obviously amongst some of the top teams to be interested. The Lakers are there, the Brooklyn Nets, the Houston Rockets. I put the Philadelphia 76ers on this list. Not sure if they're going to be willing to do that because a backcourt of Mitchell and Maxey might, 1, limit Maxey's ability to grow, and 2, it's not the best fit because both guys need the ball in their hands and are kind of undersized for their position. But the 76ers do have top 3 cap space in the NBA, and they are looking to make a big splash to form a big 3 with Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. But I want to focus on the Lakers, Nets, and Rockets. And we've shown this before of what these 3 teams can offer in a Donovan Mitchell trade. The Nets have a really good package of Cam Johnson, Thomas, Schroeder, Clowney, and 9 tradable first-round picks. The Los Angeles Lakers have Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, Jalen Hood-Schifino, Jared Vanderbilt, and 3 tradable first-round picks. And then this is the team that really scares me. It's the Houston Rockets. Jalen Green, Jabari Smith, Amen Thompson, and Cam Whitmore. That is one heck of a crew in terms of young talent that other teams that are going to go rebuilding could want. They also have 9 tradable first-round picks. When you think of what the Heat have, which is really only 2 first-round picks, the 15th overall pick this year and the 2030 first-round pick, they have a player-led package. They can't really compete with the first-round picks, right? Like, if you look at what Miami can offer, I think it's a good package, but it is a player-led package. So to me, when you're thinking of what the Cavs want, that is where the Heat will have to hope they want to go with a player-type package. Because if they want to go with a rebuild-type deal where they get a shit ton of picks to either upgrade in a different trade or just upgrade through the draft and build around Evan Mobley and Darius Garland, well, the Heat will be at a disadvantage. But let me ask you this first before we continue the conversation. Do the Heat have enough to trade for Donovan Mitchell? Type Y for yes or type N for no. You just saw what the Heat can offer. They're not going to obviously offer everything, but they will offer a good portion of what we just showed on screen. I do think the Heat have a good offer, as I just said, but to me, if a deal can get done, it is all dependent on what Cleveland wants. It really is, because as I just mentioned, if they want to go the rebuild route and make this a 3-4 year type deal, they'll probably take an offer from the Houston Rockets or the Brooklyn Nets for 3 or 4 or 5 first-round picks plus 1 young guy. But if they do want to try to compete at least in the next 2 to 3 seasons as well as look towards the future, well, the Heat's package is very, very good because they could get a Jaime Jaquez Jr., Tyler Herro, and Nikola Jovic in a potential mega deal where they have now 3 guys, all under the age of 25, that have been in playoff experience moments and have shown a lot of upside. And it is already reported that the Cleveland Cavaliers like Jaime Jaquez Jr. as a trade piece. So you get him and Herro, you get a shooting guard alongside Garland. Herro's been a sixth man of the year, averages 20 points a game. Jaquez Jr., who had an incredible rookie year out of UCLA. Like, you could also add in Jovic, and if they move Jared Allen, it could be Evan Mobley at the 5, Jovic at the 4, Jaquez at the 3, with Herro and Garland in the backcourt, and now you're dealing with something intriguing. And not only do the Heat have a decent enough package to get this done, there is something going in Miami's favor. We've always talked about Donovan Mitchell's contract and how he has 1 year left on his deal because he's not willing to sign a long-term extension with Cleveland. Well, there is no guarantee he will sign a long-term extension with his new team. We can always go back to last year and say, well, Damian Lillard requested a trade to the Heat. That didn't work out. It's because he didn't have that much power, right? Like, Dame had 4 years left on his contract. So it's like, well, whatever team he gets traded to, that's where he's getting traded to, and he doesn't have a say. Mitchell, if he catches wind that Cleveland is about to send him to the Brooklyn Nets or the Houston Rockets, he'll be like, well, I'm not going to sign a long-term extension there. I'm still going to become a free agent next year. Well, then why would the Nets or Rockets make that trade? Because you're giving up a lot of your future for 1 year of Donovan Mitchell, and both those teams are not a Donovan Mitchell away from winning an NBA championship next season. So there is a way for Mitchell to kind of direct his way to the Heat, and the Heat have a good enough package where the Cavs wouldn't be that upset with that. And we've talked about my trade package for Donovan Mitchell a lot. We have. I am not going to waver off of this. I'm doing this without hesitation. I'm sending in Herro, I'm sending Jovic, I'm sending Jaquez, I'm sending the 2030 first-round pick and the 15th overall pick in this year. I know, I get it. Some of you will say it's too much to give for Donovan Mitchell. I don't care. Jovic and Jaquez are good players. Herro's a good player. Donovan Mitchell's an all-NBA caliber player. He is. He averaged 26 a game, and he's one of the best playoff scorers, best finishers at the rim, 3-level scorers. You get him working alongside Jimmy and Bam. Oh my God. Like, you have an incredible trio there, and you also have your duo of the future for the next 7 to 8 seasons in Mitchell and Bam. I'm committing to Mitchell. I'm committing to Jimmy Butler. I want to see Jimmy win a championship in Miami before he retires, so I am doing this deal to maximize this next 2.5-year window for Jimmy Butler, and you're not sacrificing your future either because you do have D-Mitch and Bam as your duo going forward, and then you can build around them. You have to do it if you want to win a championship with Jimmy Butler. We can continue the conversation over on my Twitter, @Nick_Roloff. We're like 5 followers away from 1,000. So guess what? If you follow me and get me to 1,000 on this video, just DM me that 1K in my DMs. They're open, and I'll follow you back for helping me get over 1,000 followers.